Where are we going, you say? You know, I really like those green eyes of yours. What? Stop deflecting the question. I don't know what you're talking about, man. I just really like those green eyes of yours. And goodbye. Hello everyone, this is Crump3txxix here, and welcome back to another episode of Minecraft. So, we got some stuff done since the last episode. As you can see directly in front of me, that's one of the first things I kind of quickly did off camera. Ooh, I forgot to turn on those lights. But it was bothering me that this little section of hallway wasn't finished, so I went ahead and finished it. Although, I don't know how I feel about the chain on the armor stand. It looks a little funky to me. I might put iron or gold on him. Who knows? But I was also thinking a little bit about this room right here, and I started building a staircase back up to the surface. That's no big deal. It's not going to be, anything real cool. It's just a staircase literally up to the surface, and I will have some designs on the wall, which I'll show you once I actually do it, but nothing terribly important. So as you know, in the last episode, we did a bunch of work with villagers, and I started bringing them down here, kind of dug back this hallway, and I've gotten a good 20 or so in here so far. These are just the ones that, most of them I wanted to keep. Some of them are actually going to get sent back up. But we got some good enchantments and everything. So we got cheap saddles. That's not an enchantment. He has efficiency 5. It's rather expensive. Depth strider 3, which is pretty damn good if you're not going for feather falling, if you're actually trying to go for water. And looting 2, which I can just combine 2 of. I'm pretty sure it's fairly cheap. 26. Okay, that's not very cheap. Let's see. Best glass and best paper trade. So 24 and 5. He's a good guy. I don't know what his last trade is. I got Silk Touch on that guy. That's bad. He's leaving. Let's see. I have 2 Infinity Traders. There's one. His is more expensive, so he's probably not going to stay. But I do want to see what his final trade is before I send him off. This is a good Infinity Trader. And there's also my favorite Unbreaking 3 trade, which is actually really cheap too. 14 emeralds for Unbreaking 3. I don't think I could ask for anything better. I should actually probably give him some extra protection and, put, a glass block or something in front of him so he can't die, because that is like 14 emeralds for an Unbreaking 3 trade is better than I could have ever asked for. So if we come out here, I don't know, I might have mentioned, I don't remember, and I don't actually really care for this little hallway that I built a couple episodes ago. I mean, it looks good. I'm not going to say that it doesn't, but at least I like it. I don't know. But it's so, I guess the best way to put it is generic, and it's so perfectly symmetrical, and there's no real huge level of detail or anything like that. I don't know. It's kind of boring to me. So next time in the future, we're going to avoid doing something like this. I don't know. But it's been a while. It's been a little while since I have gone and processed some villagers. I got some bread on me. And so let's go take a look at the infinite breeder, because I think we probably have some guys that we can go trade, and if not, at least go breed more so we can get an iron farm going soon enough. Oh, and since the last episode, I completely forgot. I was so upset that I didn't have, a good horse anymore, and I got the donkey and everything, but I decided to go ahead and grab all the horses and donkeys that I could find just right here. So the one with armor on, I found 3 more horses in that area. The one with armor on is the fast one. The one with spots is the one who is a good jumper. And this guy has 13 hearts of health, which is pretty good. So between the 3 of them, the 3 of them combined would pretty much equal the old horse that I have, which is very depressing. The last horse that I had was just as good, if not better, than all three of these horses' best aspects combined. Because the other two are slow, these two can't jump very well, and both of these guys have low health. The other donkey that it doesn't have a saddle or anything on really sucks too. But I have made them safe in this hole, and it's been quite a while. They haven't died, so everything's cool. Now let's go. Oh, this is my little shaft that I used to bring. What the hell is that? What the? Where did this? No, this isn't a chunk error. What is this? What is all this? Who the hell dug this hole? There's a ladder here. Let's go down in here. Seems very familiar. But seriously, where the hell did this come from? They destroyed my environment. I actually really like this terrain too. Like, nice big flat but kind of forested area, and now there's just this huge gaping hole in there. What the hell? I don't see a mob. Zombie. Hi. Hey, were you the one who dug this hole? I see you have a shovel there. What are you... Ow, your shovel's strong too. Silk touch on breaking 3, efficiency 4. That's not suspicious at all. I can't, I'm sorry. Yeah. Today, guys, we are going to be building the Iron Trench. Although not the full version or anything like that. You can probably tell that this is not 32 blocks long. Even with the 8 extra blocks on the side, but... So today, we are going to have our iron farm up and running. Now, if we come down here, we do have one thing I want to build on camera before we start doing any of the iron farm stuff, and we actually don't need to breed any villagers. There's extra bread I have left over. I guess it could. It wouldn't hurt anything, but I have enough villagers as it is. But I've kind of dug out this area. And this, in Tango Tech's build, he has this little portal that, the portal trick that Panda came up with. I'm sure you guys know these YouTubers. If not, I'm sorry. You'll just have to kind of Google it. But so there's a portal trick which keeps it keeps the spawn chunks loaded by shooting an item through the nether, or into the nether, that is, just less than a minute or so. Every minute or so, that is. And that way, when you leave the overworld, the spawn chunks will stop processing if you go to, I think it's just the nether or the end. But if you have this little portal trick set up, they will always stay loaded. So, I've had to do a bit of a modification to that. And the reason for that is, when I did it in my previous world with 6 villages, I wasn't getting enough of a poppy output to keep the portal, or to keep enough items being shot through the portal in order to keep all the villages loaded. Which is a huge problem, because more than one time I actually did the rechaining process, and again, I'm sorry if you don't know what I'm talking about. Village chaining is a process of moving a whole bunch of different faraway villages into one kind of close area, and then using this nether portal trick that I'm talking about keeps them from merging when you leave the area or turn off the game or anything like that. So, what we're going to be doing in here, like I was saying before, is I wasn't getting enough poppies to send through the portal. And I got some supplies here, so I've designed a little bit of a machine which is going to have extra control compared to the one that was shown in Tango Tech's Iron Trench video. What this one is going to do, it might just be better to show you, but it has an underflow control. And what that is, essentially, is if it's not getting enough poppies to send through the system into the nether, then it's going to start pulling some of the iron out of the system from, what already got killed, and it'll start shooting iron through in an attempt to keep all the villages from merging, because even if I lose some iron from this, it's still better, much better than all the villages merging and combining into one. That'll completely break this, and I'm going to have to do a ton of work to get it all fixed again, which I'm probably not going to want to do, especially because I have designed this underground, and so I plan on covering it all back up. So if I'm going to have to uncover and redo the chaining process, I'll probably just give up and not do it, honestly. I will, you know, I'm kidding. I will end up actually rechaining it if that ended up happening, but let's just, you know, prevent that from happening in the first place. So I don't have the entire build memorized. I know how to do it, just I don't remember all the block placement or anything like that. So I'm going to have to actually stop recording here for a second, and I'm going to actually get this built off camera. And that'll just make things easier. It'll get the entire process done in time, because it's already a little bit late when I'm recording right now, and I want to have the iron farm completely finished, not covered up or anything like that, but I want it to be functional before I'm done playing for the evening. So the first step of that is going to have this little basic iron, or not iron, well, the portal dispensing mechanism set up. And I'm going to need to do any of that before I start building the farm. For whatever reason, I don't want the villages to merge while I'm trying to do this. So this is going to be the very first thing I'm going to build. So if you guys will just please give me, for what will be for me, you know, probably like 20-30 minutes, for you 5 seconds, but I will be back in just 1 second, and I'll kind of show you how my modification of this nether portal trick will work. Alright everyone, well, I got just about everything built up in here, in terms of, you know, functionality at least. I am going to need to put some sort of chest storage in here, at least for now, until we can actually get this thing running and build some sort of proper storage. But we're going to need the iron from the farm in order to get the hoppers to build the storage, so that'll come later. But quickly, before I start moving all the villagers and do the chaining process, just want to kind of show you this machine. Relatively compact. Like I said, I dug out much bigger of an area than I needed to. This is really all it is right here. But anyway, so we have our timer back here, which spits out the item. There's 50 items in the side of this hopper, just like in the video. That's like pretty much the only part that's really the same. So at bare minimum, it'll spit out one item every, well, I don't know exactly how long it is, however many times it takes 50 items to process through a hopper clock. So now we need to come up here, because we need to kind of just start off from where the dispenser is. So we have two comparators pointing off from the dispensers. So here's this one is our overflow protection, which doesn't completely go overboard with the overflow protection. So if we put items in here, you see it's not going to start going off for a while. So we can put at least 7 stacks in there, and as soon as we start getting a little bit over 7 stacks, I'm not exactly sure how much it is. Oh, there it is. So as soon as it gets over 7 stacks, it's going to start dispensing. Right now it's seeds, but later on it'll be poppies. So it'll start dispensing so the system doesn't overflow with items if too many get down into these hoppers. Now, the other one is the underflow system, which does pretty much the complete opposite. So if we take a look at here, that's where it starts, right down there where that comparator is. But essentially, once the power gets too low, and both of these I forgot to mention before, they're kind of controlled with the, it's not really, one of them's a subtraction feature, one of them's just kind of like the cancel out if the power of the other one is higher. That's terribly explained. So if the power of the comparator that's right there, there's a hopper in there with 4 stacks of items. So whenever this exceeds that same power, that's when the clock starts, whenever it gets over 7 stacks. This one does kind of a similar thing. I guess it doesn't really need to be on subtraction, but that's how I built it originally, because I thought it needed to be like that, but kind of thinking about that, it doesn't need to be in subtraction. But regardless, I don't think most people are going to understand that. So this one has a stack plus 5 items, which what it's going to do is whenever this one, whenever the dispenser is low on items, it's going to deactivate this hopper. And that means that everything that's getting pulled through the loot system is going to go to the dispenser until it hits a certain amount of items. So hold on, let's take a look at that real fast. That's, well, Yeah, we're going to need to take items out of the dispenser, so let's leave 2 stacks in here for now. I think that should be good, but we'll look. Yeah, it's still powered. Alright, we got to take more out than that. So let's take another half a stack out. That should be good. I think I have it set to 2 stacks. Alright, so now that we have less than 2 stacks of items, that block right here is not powered anymore. Meaning items can be pulled through the hopper, which I can't actually see the hitbox of, the one that I'm pointing at right now. That hopper will now become unpowered, and because hoppers will pull items down, like a hopper underneath this hopper will pull the items down before it continues sending it along this line. And therefore, everything will now get pulled into the dispenser until it gets over 2 stacks of items again, and then again, that hopper will be powered, and the system will continue running like normal. So now it has an overflow and an underflow protection for at least 2 aspects of it. I will need another overflow protection for after the portal system for if the iron builds up too much, but again, I need the iron to continue building the system before I can really do that. So that's pretty much this system, and now we don't have a whole lot of time left in the episode, so again, I'm going to have to go off camera, and I'm going to go, I have to move so many villagers, I'm going to have to move some of the ones out of my base, and I'm going to have to go through all the villagers that are inside of the breeding system right now, because some of the ones that are supposed to be, I have 2 storage shells. Here, let's just show you. We got to get over to the other side, but we have 2 storage shells, which I can't see yet. One of them, oh crap, there's more. So we got that group back there, which is supposed to be the group that is supposed to be ready to be sent into the iron farm. And then we have this group in here, which is supposed to be the breeding stock. Now, those ones in there, they kept breeding because, you know, I would trade with them, send them on their way, and therefore they were ready to be bred again, and so when they finally grouped back up, they bred. So there's more villagers, you know, in there that haven't been processed, which I need to process still. There's villagers in here, some of which have already been processed, but I couldn't access, so I have to pull some of them out and then send some of them away. And I gotta do something with these 3 assholes. So, I got a lot of villagers screwing around to do, and then I gotta move them all into the correct places. So this is gonna take a very long time, and none of it's gonna be on camera. After all that, I'm gonna have to do the entire chaining process, and since this is kind of under— oh, hi! No, don't, no! Oh, good. You gave me weakness. No, you gave me slowness. I don't care about slowness. You stupid asshole. Getting caught off guard by a witch can be very dangerous. I'm glad I had an escape route. But yeah, so, and because this is all going to be underground and everything, while I'm doing the chaining process, if I try to do any sort of, you know, third-person time-lapse with my second account, you're not going to be able to see anything besides the roof, and watch me place doors and wait, and so on and so forth. Even in the first-person perspective is going to be incredibly boring. So, I think for the rest of the episode, what we're going to do, or what I'm going to do, is I'm going to get this entire thing completely finished. And I might not actually finish. It's getting a little bit late for when I'm recording right now. So I will probably finish in the morning. And then, well, I'll kind of show you the result of it to see if everything worked or didn't work. I have been being very careful about the setup. So I'm going to go ahead and hope that everything's going to work, but I don't know, like I've seen the 32 village iron output, and I've seen the 6 village iron output, but I've never seen 13 village iron output before, so I'll be kind of curious to see how much iron per hour I'll get. But anyways, I'm going to get started on all of this. It's going to be a very long evening / tomorrow. So I will see you guys when we're finally done and have a stupidly ridiculous, awesome and crazy amount of iron for a single player world. So, without further ado, I will be back soon. Alrighty, everybody. Well, I pretty much got this entire thing in place now. Oh crap. This isn't very good. Well, you're not supposed to fall into the iron farm. I was trying to cut out the roof there, but, oh well. Let's get out of here now. But I'm getting really good spawn rates already. This is just, it's turning out great. I just finished it, like, maybe a few minutes ago, and I've already seen at least double digits of golem spawn in, like, the last, I don't know, few seconds. It's crazy, even with just 13 villages rather than 32 or 64. Now, I got a bunch of villagers left over there that I'm not really sure what I'm going to do with. I'm thinking I'm probably just gonna go ahead and throw them into the base and just kind of process them and do stuff with them. Maybe let a few of them go in some sort of way or another. But we got an extra, like, I don't know, 30 villagers left over there. So, anyways, guys, I'm going to keep chopping this out, but that's going to be it for this episode. Hopefully by the next episode, I'll have all this crap cleaned up, because there's a lot of just that water stream that I was using to transport villagers into my base, and this big hole that I need to cover up. So I got some work to do, but it was definitely worth it. This thing's going to produce way more iron than I need. So that's going to do it for me, guys. Thank you for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed the episode. This has been Crump3txxix. I will see you next time. Take care.